Cannon from Police Off the Cuff After Hours. And I wasn't initially going to go live today, but there's certain things about the Summer Wells case now that's really been bothering me a lot. And I think that most of the folks that have been, so let's call them content creators on YouTube, have been sort of pointing to Candace and Don as the guilty parties in this case, of the folks that they think most likely. Uh, Hello, Karen Lavery. Hello from Ireland. Great to see you. Hello from Michigan. Great to see you. Anyway, it's bothered me because now look, uh, initially when the initial investigation had, and it was the interview by the television reporter on Don and Candace's statements, I think everyone, 95, 99% of the folks thought that they were being deceptive. And in my 27-year police career, and in my 10 in homicide, 16 in the detective bureau, 22 as a sergeant for the NYPD, I've never saw a statement like that was so full of holes, that could be so easily poked through by trained investigators. However, here we are right now. Hello there from New Jersey. Nice to see you. Here we are 56 days from June 15th at 6:30 p.m. when allegedly Summer went missing from the home of Don and Candace. And we don't seem any further along the way than we were on that same date on the 15th. Now, a lot of these YouTube content creators, have they helped this case, or have they hurt this case by putting these statements out there in public? Well, in my experience in law enforcement, I would say 100% they've hurt this case big time, because now law enforcement has no secrets because the statements have been put out there. And we've had, on my show, we've had Joe Murray, the defense attorney, retired NYPD police officer, who has said on numerous times, yeah, you want to create doubt. Now, all of those statements taken by all these different YouTube content creators, whether it was by phone or live with Don or Candace, those can be subpoenaed. And the folks that have taken those statements, they can have all of their information subpoenaed by a district attorney. I'm surprised it hasn't been done already. What we can only hope is that the TBI and the FBI and the local law enforcement, that they have something that they can bring someone in. I mean, I've spoken to David Rader on numerous occasions, and he said from day one, and I'll even read his statement. He said, "A stranger abduction considering where this house is does not make sense. The odds of that happening are slim to none. If she wandered away, one of the family dogs would have went with her." And I agree with him. I wholeheartedly agree with him in regards to that. So then where does that leave us as investigators? Where it leads us as investigators is where we started, with Don and Candace as the number one and number two persons of interest. However, leaving them out there, hello, Lady is a Tramp, hello, Michelle Sereno, Miss Justice 1111, a lot of people agree. Everyone, all the content creators on YouTube, I shouldn't say all, most are insisting, yes, they are the suspects. They are the folks that should be looked at. Look, the best thing that possibly could happen is that Summer is found alive, but it's been 56 days and there has been no sighting of Summer. When I was in the homicide squad, that was an NYPD homicide squad, Manhattan North, I never took much credence in a lie detector test. In fact, I don't think we ever used that before. And I think the lie detector test we used was good detective work, excellent interviewers. And to do great interviews, you need a basis of truth to catch the person who you're interviewing in a lie. Because if you don't have the basis of truth, TBI law enforcement should have planted cameras with audio in that home or property. Well, they would need a search warrant to do that. They can't just plant cameras there. That's illegal. I just think that a lot of the information put out there very much hurts law enforcement to make this arrest and to try to further this investigation, because there's no secrets anymore. It's that someone just wrote, do you think Don and Candace are lying about getting their phones back from law enforcement? Look, if law enforcement gave them their phones back, they gave them their phones back after they downloaded all of the information on the phone to a hard drive so that law enforcement had that. I've never heard of law enforcement giving the phones back before the investigation was over. Hello, Toronto. Good to see you. So where do we go from here? Where do we go as far as this case? Well, hopefully, myself being another YouTube content creator, I'm not the one you should be asking. The people we should be asking is the FBI, the TBI, and local law enforcement. Hopefully, they have a great deal of evidence that they can question Don and Candace about. Should there be secondary and third and fourth and fifth searches? Yeah, I think that you can never, ever give up on searching for Summer. Many times in these cases, bodies are found way after the fact, almost by accident. Maybe by people walking around in the woods, hikers, hunters, people on their own property may find something. Hello, Indiana. Good to see you. Hopefully they're keeping information close to the vest. That's what we've been saying the whole time, is that we hope, at least at Police Off the Cuff, Real Crime Stories, we hope that they have a great deal of information that they just haven't shared right now. Because right now, it just seems law enforcement hasn't told us a lot, and I applaud them for holding evidence close to the vest, because that's the way to keep a strong case, a strong prosecution. However, many things have been put out into the public domain without the consent of law enforcement. And I just think that hurts the case, okay? That really hurts the case. We're analyzing statements, with FBI folks. We're analyzing body language. That's all good entertainment. But when this case, if it does come to fruition and there is an arrest in this case, and it's who many people think it is, that's when investigators and prosecutors, they'll go back into the case and look at it and say, subpoena the information. And a good defense attorney, a la someone like Joe Murray, who's been on our case numerous times, he could create doubt with much of the stuff that has been out there. We never forgive Donna's putting info out that he's, it went so fast. Sorry, I had to tap out at a phone call and back. Okay, great to see you. Chris never made Don say anything. Don doesn't know how to shut up. It's not whether he knows how to shut up or not. It's whether or not it's proper to put it out there in the public domain. Joda Aus, Calcutta, hello, how are you? It's great to see you here. I was just feeling, I wasn't going to go live today, but I was just feeling like sort of helpless in a lot of ways, that what is going on with this case? Hello, Jamie Pimentel. What's going on with this case in essence? Where are we going with it? All of this information is out there. There's people analyzing statements. There's people interviewing people. There's a million people. There's people feeling sorry for Don. There's all of this stuff. And again, that's, I guess, what is entertainment on YouTube. But coming from a background of a true investigator and someone that's really done this stuff and knows how the criminal justice system works, I question whether that's a good idea to have all of this information out there. And again, today is 56 days. Uh, you know, hello, Bill Ryan's out there. I hope good comes from this. Yeah, I do hope that good comes from this too. There's so much information out there that has not been vetted, and the way that you really vet information is to knowing truths and challenging falsehoods with those truths. And we're 56 days in, and I don't trust a single timeline that I've seen on any of these content creator sites on YouTube. And that's a fact, because none of them have the correct information, the correct evidence, the correct cell phone evidence, the cell tower evidence, the electronic evidence, whether there's evidence from video cameras, all right? All of the folks that they've interviewed, all of that stuff has to be cross-checked. Susan Lloyd, I don't know whether the parents are guilty or innocent. I just believe innocent until proven guilty in a court of law, not public. You're 100% correct. You're never guilty until you're proven in a court of law. But one of the things that is necessary to make an arrest in this case is something called probable cause. And probable cause is facts and circumstances that would lead a reasonable person to believe that a crime has been committed and the person arrested committed a crime. I think that's the definition, word for word, of what probable cause is. So probable cause doesn't mean that you're going to get convicted, but it just means what I just recited, that as facts and circumstances that lead a reasonable person to believe that a crime has been committed and the person being arrested committed the crime. Do the police have probable cause right now to make an arrest? I guess they don't, because no one's been arrested, right? And we still have a 5-year-old missing girl under really suspicious circumstances. EquiSearch, the folks sent by God, have been here twice, and they haven't been able to find Summer. Would they come back a third time? I would love to see them come back again. David Rader is the salt of the earth. Tim Miller, I mean, you can't get better people than that, So would they come back if they were called to come back? The way they work is they need to be called back by the police. They're not going to come back on their own, and unless they're called, they're not going to come back just on their own. Oh, we want to go try another search. But if they're asked, I'm pretty sure they probably would come back. But there's so many things that about this case that just really, really bothers me, It really bothers me that after 56 days, it doesn't seem like we have a solid direction in this case, And what are we talking about that we got to recover? I've mentioned before circumstantial evidence. Unless we get the smoking gun in this case, which would be the recovered remains of Summer, and hopefully I hope that does not happen. I hope that she's recovered alive somewhere. But 56 days have gone by, and if we believe that she just walked off, then it's hard to believe that she's still alive. If we believe that she was abducted, which the experts don't believe that. There's many YouTube content creators, of course, that are trying to sell that narrative. I mean, even Joe Murray, the great Joe Murray, the attorney from New York, retired NYPD police officer, he doesn't discount that. He doesn't discount the possibility that Summer could have been abducted. But the probability of that is very, very, very slim. So all of these things bother me. It bothers me that we don't know more about this now. And again, I applaud law enforcement for keeping this very close to the vest. However, I would appreciate, as someone out there that does care and is worrying about this whole case of Summer Wells, could you give us a little bit of information? How's the investigation going? Where is the investigation going? Are you on the right track? Do you think you're on the right track? And many times in an investigation, you change direction. You may have a very specific direction that you're going in, and at some point, something leads you in another direction. And you have to be ready to say, okay, we're going to change the direction because of this. This has made us change our direction. Uh, Thousands of tips, or at least over 1,000 tips, have been called in. Um, None of them have resulted in, and I can't say if any of the 1,000 tips were good information. I just know none of them have resulted in there being an arrest in this case. I read a lot about, and I hear a lot about psychics, mediums doing their predictions. I don't have any faith in that whatsoever, and I know I'm going to get some hate over that, but that's who I am. And in my 27 years on the NYPD, I've never ever seen a psychic used on a homicide or a missing person case. So, from what I understand, the psychics and the mediums are coming out of the woodwork on this case, and all that does is throw law enforcement on a wild goose chase in a different direction, and they have to, stick to the science. Exactly, stick to the science. We don't want to stick to, psychics telling us which way to go, because every lead they get, every tip they get, they have to check it out. So that causes man hours. It causes extra work. And if, some psychic is going to say, oh, I see her by trees or running water. That's great. There's trees and there's running water out there, but you're not helping us. You're not helping the case. And send me, if you don't like what I'm saying, that's fine, because those are my true beliefs from 27 years on the NYPD and investigating homicide for over 10, and being in the detective bureau for 16 years as a boss. I was a sergeant, okay? When you're a sergeant in the NYPD, anything above the rank of sergeant, you're considered to be a boss, all right? So I was a boss in the detective bureau for 16 years. Yes, we need, we need science and facts, absolutely. And, I almost wanted to go down there with Duty Ron, but, we have to realize what our place is in this investigation. And really, we're trying to educate the public. We're basically entertainment. We're content creators. We hung up I hung up my shield, my sergeant shield, on October 31st, 2011 from the NYPD. So it's not my role to go down there, and I almost want to, because I would love to help in this case, And someone else just said in regards to a psychic, they're near a lake. Oh wow, that was so good that you predicted that. Look, there's folks are saying that she was sold. And everyone has an opinion of what happened in this case, but unless an opinion is based upon fact. Hello, Susan Broma, how are you? Great to see you. Facts and evidence. The opinion isn't really what we're looking for. We're looking for fact-based evidence, and that's what we're going to move on. Science, forensic analysis, facts, statistics, not emotion, not psychics. Angel on a mission. You're right. That's 100% correct. Cat Lover 33, I truly have no clue. I really am very confused. We all are. And as I said, I don't think it really helps law enforcement that all of these people are being, interviewed on YouTube, and before law enforcement has a shot at them in private. Or they did have a shot, but I don't know if they really want the information out there in the public domain. But it's been done already. So how do they now? I'm not one of those people. I've never interviewed a single one of the principals in this case. I'm putting out information based on my experience, but I've never interviewed a single principal in this case, and I would never do that. Okay, so how far could Summer have gone? Jay asks. The terrain around that house is very rough. She's a little 5-year-old girl. I don't think she could have gotten very far if, in fact, she did walk off. Folks, I just wanted to come on and just to throw my 2 cents out there, based on my experience, because I'm really, Raquel Levitt, thank you so much for the $4.99 super chat. I'm really struggling with this case in regards to, it's very much analyzed, but yet so far we haven't found Summer, and that's got to be the number one. The number one thing in this case is to find Summer, and that's when it gets solved. All right, when we find her. Yeah, I mean, someone's saying, yeah, how far could she have gone? You know, she could have gone away very far, but based on what we know from the beginning and how quickly they went out to search for her, you would think they would have found her. Hello, from Wisconsin. How are you? Uh, you know, all this other stuff that's thrown into it. Oh, it could have been his former worker. It could have been these drug dealers. It could have been this. It could have been, yeah, it could have been anything, you know. But until we have solid, hard evidence to prove that it happened or it didn't happen, we just have to keep investigating this case and keep searching and keep praying that, you know, we'll find Summer. And yes, this is very frustrating. And as I said, I wish... hello, Wilco Nissi from the Netherlands. Nice to see you. Patty Mackley, praying for Summer. Hopefully she's still alive. Yeah, that's what we all hope. You know, folks, I'm gonna sign off now. I just wanted to go on the air and sort of vent my frustration and to throw it out there. You know, there's another missing boy in Idaho. I believe it is 5 years old, a missing boy, and they've got nothing on that case as far as what I've read. So this is an ongoing problem, of course. So we can just pray that we find Summer and that we find that she's alive. Folks, thank you so much for listening. I'm Bill Cannon from Police Off the Cuff After Hours, Real Crime Stories. Have a great day.